What's up everybody, Tech Chucker here, and today we're going to do a review of the Neca Predator 7-inch scale action figure. This is the Scarface from the video game appearance of Concrete Jungle. And so I just got started watching the Predator and Aliens franchises, and I gotta say, I'm hooked. It's everything I expected it to be. And so is this figure. Pretty much this is the floodgates opening. I anticipate I'm going to be grabbing a bunch more of these NECA figures. They are so cool. They're so good. And for the price point at about 20 to 25 bucks, holy cow, you can't go wrong. Well, let's go ahead and crack this thing open and take a closer look. Alright, so let's take a look at the articulation, because it's pretty darn good on this figure. There's a few issues. His head is on a ball peg. He is not able to look up very much at all. Not much at all. But he is a tall figure, so that's okay. He can look down a little bit, not a lot. Side to side's pretty good. The soft goods are soft enough that most everything moves out of the way. So I'm pretty happy. And there's actually a pretty good amount of tilts, so very, very happy. Into the shoulders, he's got a ball hinge, which allows that shoulder to get out all the way, which is great. I love that. And then this shoulder pad is just, it's on a flexible plastic piece, so it doesn't get in the way. Full rotation of that shoulder, which is great. No real issues with that. He does have a bicep swivel, which works really, really well. Double jointed elbows, which also work pretty well. His arms are a little bulky with the armor and whatnot, but that's okay. And then he's got a ball peg in the wrist. I almost forgot to mention there is also a forearm swivel as well. In the torso, it looks like he's got a single ball peg at the top of the torso, which doesn't allow for much forward or backwards arch. He's also got a little bit of swivel at the top, which works really well, and in the bottom. Both of those joints are a ball peg. A little bit of side crunch, not a whole lot, but that's okay. In his hips, he's got T-jointed ball hinges, which actually allow him to do pretty good splits. I mean, not complete splits, but that's still pretty darn good. Forward kick motion is a little limited. And I don't think it's fully the skirt that's causing that issue. A little bit that is, but then he's able to kick back actually a pretty decent amount. The backwards kick is actually really, really desirable for me. I like that. And then there is a upper thigh peg, but it doesn't really move much. In the knees, there is a peg that allows the knee to rotate, and there's double jointed knees, and those work really, really well. I'll say that knee joint does get a little bit loose. There's a shin joint as well, but it's hard to see. The ankles don't move much. I believe that's a ball peg. They move back just a little and forward just a little. There is good rotation. They are getting looser on mine, and I don't know what the deal is with that. Like I noted before, there is a forearm swivel, which works really good. It's right at the top of that armor piece of his forearm, which is great. So overall, the articulation, it's all there for the most part. It works really well. I'll note over time it has been getting looser. A lot of the leg joints, especially the hips and the knees, have been getting a lot looser on mine, which is making me a little bit nervous. So hopefully all of NECA's figures aren't like this. Moving into the sculpt and the paintwork of this figure, and this is where we run into a Marvel Legends reviewer moving up into the NECA world, and this is just, it's just so amazing. I mean, just look at the sculpt work of this head alone. It is just amazing, and then you add in the paint with the red on the helmet and these dreadlock hoses or whatever that look like his hair. I mean, this is just, I mean, just the head alone is so much better than a Marvel Legends. Let's take that head off and we can kind of see there's just so much detail sculpted in, even to that neck. These armor plates are soft, so they don't get in the way. They can move a little bit. The skull, that little skull would be cool if it could rotate, but it can't. But just look at the armor. I mean, they painted this so well. I mean, there's detail in every single place. There's paint everywhere. This chainmail like design, it just looks so cool. I love this little I don't know, skull and bones thing that's wrapped around him. I mean, it's just really, really cool. I love every little detail of this figure. I like that these shoulder pads, it's not hinged, but it doesn't need to be because it's so soft, so it doesn't get in the way. This cool little, I forget what it's called, some sort of communicator or whatever. I mean, look at the detail on there. The only thing that they could have done to make it better is if they had put the actual symbols in, say, a glowing green or something to make it look like the LED is actually displaying something. But I mean, just look at that. There's so much paint. There's so much detail everywhere. And reminder, this is just a $20, $24 figure. I mean, this little sash belt skirt thing is there's not enough good things to say about this figure, especially with the price point. There's so many soft pieces. The shin is actually that armor is kind of a soft sheath, and the feet. Oh gosh, I'm just drooling over this thing. It's so cool. They did such a great job with all the paint work. These little spikies are soft enough that they don't get hooked on anything and break off. Yeah, the paint work is great. I mean, I think that this looks just like the Predator creatures in the movies. I think NECA nailed this 100% with the sculpt and the paintwork. I don't know that there's much of anything that they could have done any better with the sculpt and paint. NECA did not disappoint in the accessory world as well. They did a great job with all of these, and they gave us so many, which is really, really cool. This like dart gun of some sort it's really, really cool. The paintwork, it's got like this bronze copper look. The darts are soft, which is okay, and they're a little bit bent, but that's okay. But just look at the detail. I mean, there's the little LCD actually has the text that I was hoping the other one would have. That one just looks great. He holds it really, really well. And then this, I don't even know what this is called. It's like some sort of sword thing. I don't know, but just look at this. The detail is super cool. You see all the scratch marks on it. The paint is good. The only thing I wish is that maybe they had painted the handle a slightly different color. All right, so then he comes with, this is the one piece that I'm not a huge fan of. This is the old over-the-shoulder cannon-like thing that he's got. It's painted and sculpted really, really well. It's a little weird with this slot thing. It comes off really, really easily. I kind of wish that it would have pegged in a little bit differently, so it would have stayed put better. And it kind of flops around, but it's still pretty cool. For the most part, it holds its position. And I think the paint work is pretty good. I like the way that they did that paint. The difficult part here is trying to get it to peg into his back. It doesn't, you can see there's these two slots for this to peg in, and there's just so much going on back here. Let's see if I can get it. I gotta move this out of the way. And I've only been able to get this thing to go on and stay on a couple of times. I'm not really sure. Come on. I had to peg that on off camera because it just wouldn't, I couldn't get it to get on there. But basically it just pegs onto his back, or it is supposed to. This thing pegs in, and then he's got his over-the-shoulder cannon to shoot whatever he needs to shoot. I'm not a big fan of this. I'm not a big fan of the execution of it. It's kind of hokey. Maybe I've got it all wrong in how it's supposed to be mounted on there, but I mean, it seems pretty self-explanatory that it pegs in the way that I've got it pegged in. So I'm not super happy with it. I probably won't ever use it much in my displays, but if I've got it wrong, let me know in the comments below, and then I'll try try it out the way that it's supposed to be. All right, so he comes with this alternate head, which is the unmasked head, and this thing is super cool. The detail work on this, on the mouth, is just amazing. It's so good. We've got the hair like hose things, which again, they're nice and soft, and it just works. It's really good. I love the paint work on this thing. Okay, so one thing that I noticed, and I don't know if it's supposed to be this way, but it looks like the left eye, there might not be a left eye on mine. I don't know if it's supposed to be that way or not, but whatever. Let's take a look and see what this alternate head looks like on the body. And I think it looks pretty darn sweet. Yeah, another thing that I'm not sure of, I don't know if I'm supposed to have, so you see that black hose-like thing? It looked like there were supposed to be two of them, and I don't know if one of mine broke off or if that other one wasn't supposed to be on there. I don't know. This head is a little harder to get on. It's just because of the way that the hair is. Maybe if I took a hair dryer to it, it would be a little bit easier to get that thing on. But once it's on, boy, that thing looks cool. I mean, just look at that. It looks so good. I don't know. I know that this one is supposed to be from the video game, but to me, it looks like the movies as well. And I think Neca knocked it out of the park with this alternate head. So he does come with this alternate hand or extra hand. This is actually the one that is on in the package, but it's a splayed, the fingers are splayed open, and those peg on pretty easily. I do wish that we got a couple extra hands instead of just the one extra, but you know, it works well enough. It's a good looking hand. I think they did good with that. So I can't complain about those hands, but you can see this is just a peg, a ball peg. Some of the paint's kind of wearing off a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it works well enough. I wish it was a different type of joint instead of just that ball joint, but it's okay. It does what it needs to. Finally, he comes with these two blades that just peg into this device on his forearm. And these things are painted really, really nicely. They're really cool. I do wish that these particular ones were a little bit longer. Mine tend to kind of bend into each other so that they're next to each other or too close. But those just peg in real easily. No issues with that. It just looks really cool. I can't say it enough how good of a job Neca did on this figure. They really knocked it out of the park, and it's definitely going to make me want to go buy more of these Predator figures because they are just way too cool. I gotta have more. I gotta get some of the aliens. I highly recommend going to get these. If you're a Marvel Legends collector, you're just gonna be in awe at the attention to detail that Neca has put into these figures and the price point. I mean, you can't go wrong with the price point at $25 this is just amazing to me.
Get to the chopper!
Alrighty folks, I hope you liked this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already done so, click the subscribe button. Check out some of my other videos. You can see them right up here and down here. Also, check out the featured video that I've got here. Every single video I'm going to feature someone else's video. Somebody who has a channel, either it's an up-and-comer like myself or somebody who's an old pro. Whatever it is, it's going to be awesome, so make sure you go check it out, like their content, subscribe to their channel, and until next time, I'll see you later.
Tech Trickers Brain Blast.